Hi guys. Okay, so we're out here in the new dojo, and I figured I might as well start out with a response video of psychology of combat. So instead of having you guys stare at my ugly face for the whole time, I figure I'll just have you stare at something pretty, like nature and stuff, while I tell you my points. So let's do that. Okay, let's find a pretty spot. Yeah, that'll work. That's good. Okay, so why did I bring you out here to explain psychology of combat? Okay, here's the idea. First off, you can never judge a book by its cover. Right behind me is a bridge, right? And it's a major-ish road in the area that I'm at, okay? Very few people come down here. It does show signs of people being down here, but most of the sign is pretty old. People don't come down this way much. So that's one thing. So the idea then is that sometimes the things that are the most unexpected will catch you off guard. That's first off. Second, we need to understand what is actually defined as combat, or a fight, or a self-defense situation. Verbal altercations are not, although they are a part of it, and we are taught typically in the military and other places that there is the verbal confrontations phase of a self-defense situation, or a progression of force. It's usually the lowest level. But even then, it's one of those things that it's there, but it's not. As far as I consider it part of the start of a fight, but I don't consider it to be a part of the fight. And here's why. Basically, when you're looking at combat and self-defense, for it to work well, it has to be efficient. It has to be so efficient and so mind-bogglingly easy as far as forethought or anything like that, that it just flows into place. It's just there. So for there to be a bunch of different distinctions, it's kind of unnecessary, I think. That's why I personally like to break it down into two things. Lethal, non-lethal, okay? Non-lethal is pretty much for everything that does not constitute lethal force. Okay, somebody pushing me does not constitute me ripping their eyes out. Therefore, it would be a non-lethal force. Okay, so if they push me, then I throw them. Yeah, that's lethal, non-lethal. That's non-lethal, non-lethal. So you're on the same playing field, so you're good to go. If, however, he's trying to stab me with a knife, and then I draw my weapon and I shoot him, well, that was lethal force coming into me, and I used lethal force to get rid of that threat, or to negate that threat. Okay, so, lethal. It's good to go. If someone, however, pushes me and I respond in a lethal way, that's bad. Okay, so there's that. Now, why do I go into that distinction? For this next point, there will be a point when that type of a situation becomes necessary, where there is the verbal altercation. Most people at this point will feel some semblance of the emotion of fear. That's a good thing. You shouldn't want to fight. It shouldn't be something that you want to do. It's something that you have to do. You don't have a choice. Okay? If I want to get in a fight, that means that I'm doing something wrong, and that means that I'm instigating it, or I'm doing actions that cause it to progress or to be worse. So that's my problem. And the guy that's on the receiving end, well, he's just the poor victim bystander. So at this point, I'm turning him into a victim. Even though he may be attacking me or may be aggressive towards me, if my response is more than his attack, then who's the bad guy here? Okay? That's my point. So that's one thing. And the reason why I say that is for this next point. After the verbal altercation, let's say there's the verbal altercation, and then now we've gotten into a physical altercation. They're trying to use non-lethal force against me. Okay? If I respond with lethal force, obviously that's bad. Okay? Or if I respond with more non-lethal force than is required, or the whole idea of overkill. If I do that, that too, bad, right? All right. So understand that there is that aspect as well. For there to be lethal force, there has to be a point in time when you're not thinking of the technique, you're not thinking of this or that. You're thinking only of defending yourself and doing what you need to do to survive. Basically, my old favorite standby: smash them off them, smash them good, smash them more. You know, smash, 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 kill, kill, kill. That's the idea. But that's only for a lethal conflict. So understand that anything less than that, don't do that. Okay? In a non-lethal confrontation, often pushing them down or throwing them across, a chair or, something like that will most likely be more than sufficient. Perhaps a controlling hold of some type as well. But, just something like that. So, I want to get into that. Make sure that you understand that there is the overkill thing is going to be the biggest thing that's going to get you in trouble. The rest of it, if you are worried about what someone around you is thinking, it's not as detrimental to you in a non-lethal situation, although it is detrimental because you're dividing your focus, which makes you less effective. But if you're worried about what someone else is thinking around you, what someone else is doing around you, that is not engaged in the conflict. Any of those other things that will divide your focus, you're going to be less effective. Now, in a non-lethal situation, that might be one of those things that will keep you grounded and keep you from going into overkill. However, when you are in a lethal confrontation and lethal force is being projected towards you, there is no room for, being distracted or dividing your focus in any way, shape, or form. This guy is trying to harm you. This person is trying to harm you and harm you bad and kill you. So for whatever reason, okay? So in that way, you can't wait for anything. You can't be worried about what someone else is thinking around you. You can't be worried about someone watching, someone this, someone that. It doesn't matter. It no longer matters. What matters is your attacker and you, and you're dealing with that attack, and that's all there is to it. So anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents on it, and hope you enjoyed the video and the nature walk.